Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Fan Battle Fantasy Sports, brought to you by the Fan Battle Sports Network. I'm your host tonight, Matthew Briggs, and there's supposed to be three of us, but our boy BT got lost somewhere, probably watching highlights of the Texans, hoping that they do better, but you know how that goes. But with me, got my boy Josh Cena. What's up, man?
What's good, everybody?
Well, Josh, man, finally we got a fantasy podcast going. So you know the haters out there in the internet, the universe, they're gonna say, why does this guy deserve a fantasy podcast? Look, I know you're especially against me. It's not very good, but not all of us can win. But tell everybody your resume of your fantasy career.
Um, Much like the Lions, it's been pretty bad. It's been pretty bad. I won one. I think I maybe in history. I think I have one fantasy league. It was 2 years ago.
So
So
kind of like the Colts, the championship years ago, huh?
what are you talking about? Years ago.
Just
It
like
was
the Colts, just like the Colts Super Bowl.
it was in 2009.
Yeah.
I mean, we ain't gonna talk about that. I think it was ball. I think it was ball. I think it was ball. No way Peyton Manning did that. Sold out on us. I think it was ball.
But no, like I said, not all of us can be winners. But you probably finished what, third, second, couple times, huh?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's always I forget to set a roster. I got an injury, so I couldn't pick up a player, and that player wouldn't play because he wasn't eligible. So it was just things that just didn't work out for me. I had some unfortunate luck over the years,
That's
going in
the. I
second and third
mean,
place.
that's the name of the game, right? Like you have the best draft ever, but one injury, one holdout, one bad massage, it can turn your
Mess
whole
up.
game upside down,
Yeah,
right?
it's just been I've been in this. I've been in a league with my classmate year six, and I think he won three, and I ain't won. I think I got second couple times, third couple times. I just never won the league he was in.
I got you. I got you. Well, my resume, I ain't gonna brag, but I'm pretty good. Like last year, I played 13 in 13 different leagues,
Mhm.
and my lowest ranking was third place. So
Mm.
I dabble quite a bit. Yahoo, I think I got 7 gold medals for winning, and in sleeper, I win all the time. So
Except that one year.
exactly. I think I came in third. Third, because I think Chris Roy beat me. I was like,
Yeah.
I
He
won
had
like money.
his league was sneaky though. I didn't think his team was good, and my team
Yeah,
was like I got a C when I drafted that team. Everybody laughed at me. I was like, hey, I think it's an extra sleeper team, and we made it all the way.
yeah. Well, man, let's kick it off with a question everybody asks: what is the best app to play some fantasy football on? So, give me your top app and give me your worst app. What do you think?
Uh, Being there, for the last couple of years, been using it. I would take the top app would be I would say the top app would be Sleeper. My least favorite app would be Yahoo.
Okay. Well, what's the reason behind it? Is it trash?
Yahoo, yeah. It's always been trash. I never liked it. I never liked that app. I mean, I've been invited to those leagues several times. I always decline because I never liked the app. So I always either go with ESPN or NFL. Sleeper that's recent. I think that came out just recent. So using that app, I was like, wow. I wish this app was here 10 years ago.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, the Yahoo is not good to me.
Man, see, I gotta agree with you. The best app is Sleeper. Somebody put me on it, and I was like, dude, this is it. This is. I mean, I got a couple other leagues that won't move to Sleeper, so I got played on the other ones. But
Mhm.
Sleeper by far destroys everybody out of the water. Like it's clean, it's crisp, easy to use, very user friendly. Like my 92-year-old grandma probably could play a Sleeper with ease. You know what I mean?
Right.
But man, my second one is Yahoo. I love it. I love the draft. I love everything about it. I think Yahoo's great. And then NFL Network, it's good. It's not bad. But ESPN is just like the channel itself, the straight garbage. Like, dude, I don't know how many times I lost because I thought I set up a lineup and it didn't set. You have to hit like 9,000 times confirm, and then you have to make sure you're not a bot, and then you got to do a big math formula to like, come on, man, just let me submit my lineup. I hate it.
Right.
I hate ESPN with a passion.
I think ESPN. I think is it ESPN or Yahoo that you have to wait for like. Oh, well, they all. I think they all like that. When you have to wait for like a wire, a free agent wire.
Yeah. I think that's. I think they're all like that. It depends on how your commish sets it up. Because some of them is like that, but
right.
So, but yeah, I agree with you. It could be crazy at sometimes, So, Josh, how many leagues are you playing in this year? I know we got a couple with me, but what about outside the AFC South and all that? How many leagues do you have going on?
Outside of AFC South, I have the Hustle Mob one, and the Sports Group one. So just two.
Okay. All right.
So
we're gonna have to get some more there, man.
It's 4, ain't it? Well, because you got two. You got 2, right? 3. Yeah. You got 3.
Yeah, we got the admin and then the network one. So you're in that one.
Yeah, so I'm in 4. So yeah, 4 total.
You need to get some more, man. You need to get your game. You need to step up your game, bro.
I mean, I guess if I get more, I have better odds.
That's how I see it. Just like the great Wayne Gretzky says, you miss all the shots you don't take. So,
Unless you Kobe Bryant, you miss a lot of shots.
Hey, but he's still considered one of the GOATs. So, so you just got to take it as it goes, man. That's what I think right now, I think I'm at about 9.
9?
Yeah.
So how are you going to be able to keep up with 9 rosters?
See, that's what everybody says. Like, how do you do that? Thursday morning, of course, I check it, make sure who the player, the players who are supposed to play on Thursday, no injuries, set it. Okay, it's over, and then Saturday or even Sunday morning, again, I do that last check. I mean, most of them I play on Sleeper, so it's pretty easy.
Right.
So just set it up all as I go, and same thing with Monday, and then boom, you're done. It's really not that hard. I mean, you're already and you have to do one team. Why not just switch over and do 8 other more?
I guess it'd be better if you had 9 different ones on the same app instead of 9 different, teams on 3 different apps.
Right. Right now, I got 8 on the Sleeper and 1 on Yahoo. The Yahoo League's been around since like 2009.
Okay.
So and of course, yours truly is the champ of all champs. But before we move on, we'll give out a shout out to my brother Bobby Baker. What's up, man? Good high school buddy of mine. Thanks for watching the show. Appreciate it, bud. Thanks for everybody watching. Well, Josh, let's move on to our next subject. Why we are here. It's preseason football. It's the most boring football, but it's football. Something that we haven't seen in a while, and we felt like those people down there in Jacksonville on the bath salt, man, just itching for more. You gotta have our football. So right now, a lot of people are, drafting. Getting ready to draft or either drafted. But right now, for fantasy football players, it's the draft. It's all about the draft. Instead of April 29th, it's August. So right now, Josh, let's go to our list of the top 5 players of each position we got. We'll start off with you, man. Here's your top five. Number one, you got Patrick Mahomes. Two,
Yes.
Joe Burrow. Three, Lamar Jackson. Number four, Josh Allen. And you're closing the list with Justin Herbert. So kind of give me an explanation of why you went this five.
It looks like all those guys, you know, are just a fantasy. Um, they're pretty much top in fantasy. I mean, as far as quarterbacks, you know, with Mahomes, he's gonna
A beast, right?
he's a beast. He's gonna average about 300 yards a game, possibly, with the passing tech because they're a passing team in Kansas. And Joe Burrow, he got those weapons for a reason. Having Boyd, having Chase, and what's the other one? Hickson.
Mm.
You know, he much like Mahomes, they throw the ball is going to be in the air. And Lamar, he's going to throw for some touchdowns. He's going to run for a touchdown. He's going to have a lot of rushing yards. May not have a lot of passing yards, but he's going to have a combination between passing and rushing, which is going to give you roughly 20 points in fantasy, depending on your league. And Josh Allen, I mean, he's a running threat. He also is a passing threat. So I think that he's in that 20, average, about 20 points a game.
Right.
And Justin, he's the new kid that's coming up for his quarterbacks in the league, and they add another weapon in not San Diego, in LA for him. So they're gonna be passing the ball a lot. And so I just feel like he's gonna have a lot of points. I actually had him on my team last year, and he has a lot of points too, but I didn't have a lot of receivers, so that's why I didn't win.
Well, and a good thing about San Diego, you got me saying it. Los Angeles Chargers is they do a lot of checkdowns, right, to the running back. So that that helps out a lot. So especially with the quarterback, the screens and whatnot. So yeah, that's a solid good list, man. Let's move on to your top five running backs. Of course, you got the number one CMC, that nasty man in Tennessee. We got Derrick Henry. Number three, we got Nick Chubb. Number four, we got a hometowner. We got Jonathan Taylor from the Colts. And number five, we got Saquon Barkley. Go ahead and explain to me why you got these guys.
I mean, everybody knows the threat of CMC in the passing and running. So he's over the years he's been banged up, but last year you see what he did with the Niners after being traded. He had that team get back, to playoffs, and almost, could have been, in the NFC Championship game. Well, they were in it. They could have been the Super Bowl, but hey, it just could be Philly. But I mean, he's a threat. I mean, the guy can. I mean, you see the scrimmage yards. He can get you roughly over 150 in scrimmage yards with passing and rushing. So he's an absolute threat, a beast. And we all know what Derrick Henry does. We know he's going to touch the ball 28 times a game. And also last year we saw a different part of his game in the passing game. So it's going to be interesting how Tim Kelly used him in the passing game as well, outside of the rushing. He's really good at rushing. I think he averaged close to 5 yards a carry. And Nick Chubb, he's a beast. I've seen him. The guy can get you. It's like he almost averaged 100 yards a game.
Yeah, basically form of Derrick Henry, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
And I mean, I know you said, with the homer pick with the JT. If this gets settled with him and ownership, get past this dilemma with this contract negotiation deal, he's a beast. We've seen what he did back in 2021. If he get back to that form, along with the quarterback, I feel like he's going to be touching the ball a lot within the passing and rushing. And Saquon, we missed Saquon of the 3 years ago. Saquon, he was an absolute beast, and I feel like last year he showed that he's returning back to the guy that was drafted years ago, and he absolutely would be in a top running back in fantasy.
All right. So, hey, man, it's all this. You got it going. Well, let's jump to the wide receivers.
Ooh, yeah, I had to. Yeah,
look, you got Jay Jettis. I mean, of course, number one. You got Cooper Cup, Stephon Diggs, number 3, Jamar Chase, and then finishing the list, you got the Cowboys, CD Lamb. Man, speak to me, man. What made you pick this?
I mean, Jetta is the highest receiver in the league right now. He's not by far. So Kirk Cousins is gonna give him the ball. He's an absolute beast. When the ball is in his hand, he's gonna make plays. You see what he did against Buffalo. When the game was over, we thought it was. He made an exceptional play to keep the drive alive and end up winning the game. Again?
Yeah, you're good. Go
ahead. I thought the screen went. Who was it? Stephon Diggs. He's same as Jetta. I mean, I won't say he's better than Jetta, but he's a threat when the ball is in the hand. Cooper Kupp. I had him a couple years ago. He helped me. He actually helped me win my fantasy league against Chris Roy. So he's still a threat. It's gonna be interesting who's quarterback gonna be right now because I don't. I mean, maybe Matthew Stafford bounce back, but I'm depending on him to help Cooper Kupp get back in the top form in fantasy. And Jamar Chase, man, much like Jetta. I mean, he's a threat when the ball in his hand too. He can take it to the house at any time. I don't know his average for his yards a game, but he's a threat. And CD Lamb, he's coming on too as well. Him and Dak have this chemistry that it seems like it's just him and CD Lamb on the field. Once CD Lamb with that ball, he's a threat in the passing, running, screens. I mean, you name it. Gadget plays. Once he has, I mean, I've seen him at Oklahoma. He's a beast.
All right. Well, let's go to the tight end group. Number 1, of course, you got Travis Kelce. Yes, number 2, George Kittle. Number 3, Mark Andrews. Number 4, Dallas Goedert. I hope I didn't murder that name. And then finishing it, the third-year tight end, Kyle Pitts. I mean, what anything changed on this one? What made you come up with this list?
Well, of course, the first one is because of the quarterback. Quarterback is going to give him the ball. He's probably the top. He's probably the top tight end in fantasy.
He might. I mean, he might even go down the top greatest tight end ever played a game. But yeah. I agree with you. Go ahead.
And George Kittle. I mean, he nobody like he's underrated. He's an underrated tight end. And going into the season, they're going to have Brock Purdy. And I think Brock Purdy going to give him the ball a lot. And which is going to have a lot of fantasy owners, make a lot of fantasy owners happy. Mark Andrews, he's talented, and we know that Lamar Jackson loves his tight ends. He loves to target Mark Andrews a lot, especially in the red zone. Dallas, I mean, Jalen did give him the ball a lot. And they're a passing team. They're not a running team because they go there when they're top runners in the league. On their team. So it shows me that they're going to be more of a passing team with AJ and my boy with Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. So I put him at tight end. He's a top tight end in the league as well. And Kyle Pitts, I think he was when he hurt last year. A lot.
Kind of. It was
kind of banged up.
Weird, yeah. I mean, plus he had Marcus Mariota thrown to him too, so that didn't help.
And and Desmond Riddle. So I might need to take him off. I might need to take him off and put in.
We don't know about I mean, Desmond Riddle started playing pretty good last couple of games of the year, so the verdict's still out on him.
I should have. I mean, Desmond Riddle. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I may have to change that one. But yeah, we just go with that for now.
Okay, all right. I'm loving it. Of course. Well, before we go to the kickers, man, I gotta ask you a question. What pick do you use to get your kicker?
Ooh, man.
There's only one answer.
It's not gonna be first. It's gonna be probably last.
That's right there. You got to use your last pick of the draft for a kicker. Dude, I've seen people. I mean, I get it. It's Justin Tucker, but I've seen people go get Justin Tucker in like the 8th round. Like, what are you doing?
No,
Like,
I'm not. No, I ain't doing that. No,
yeah.
I have in our league. I think I did pick a kicker in maybe in the early round, but I think it was. I don't know. I don't think I picked him. I think it was like the computer did that.
Yeah, I got you. All right, man. Well, let's tell me about this list.
Obviously, we got the greatest kicker in
Yeah.
Justin Tucker.
Clutch. The dude is clutch.
Yeah, he kicked that game against the Lions. He kicked that. I think it was like 60-yarder or 62. That was big. I would probably love to have on my team doing that. And man, I was hesitant on Harrison Butker because I've seen him firsthand, and he missed a lot of field goals. But he's pretty good. He has a good field goal percentage though as a kicker.
But he's been hurt too, so I think that's why he's been missing. But this is the year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess I picked this because he was good with the Rams, man. I mean, I know it. People say, well, that's a homer pick, but he was very good. I think he missed 2 with the Rams last year, so he's very efficient. So I picked him as well. I wouldn't pick him in the 3rd or 4th round or even 5th round. And the Raiders kicker, he's pretty good too. He's pretty good. And Young Ho.
Young Hoku, yeah, I get you.
He's good too, man. I could have changed it. I was debating between him and the Eagles kicker,
Jake Elliott.
Yeah, I really was debating, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and go with Young Ho, but I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put Jake Elliott there instead of Young Ho.
All right. Well, man, finishing it off. Defense wins championships. Here, the list is pretty good. Number 1, you got the Niners. Number 2, the Eagles. Number 3, the Dallas Cowboys. 4, the Patriots, and 5, always you got the steel curtain of the Steelers. Tell me, Josh, what made you go with this lineup?
A lot of this list is pretty much based off the talent around them on it, because you got Dallas. They picked up Gilly to go with Diggs, which is good duo. 49ers, I mean, losing their defense coordinator, now y'all head coach, will suck, but I think they just always pick up another guy and they could just continue. Left off, they still got the same Bosa, they still got the same weapons on defense. You got a beast on defense. And I feel like that's enough to, like you said, win championship. Eagles, likewise. The Eagles, every year, they pick up somebody in the draft. You're like, why? And it draft somebody again. Another, they got the whole Georgia squad on their team.
They got the whole SEC squad, bro. Like, it's dirty, man.
Yeah. And it's good. It's crazy good. It's crazy good. And it's like, them getting that guy Dean, they got Carter this year. And they got Brandon Graham still. They just keep getting better and better and better. It's like, and they cornerbacks, it's still Darius Slay, but they got James Bradbury too. So, man, they deep. They deep on their defense. So I give you that. In the Dallas, you know who they got. They got the boy Parson. They got Lawrence, and they're good linebackers. And their secondary that's where their money at. They got ball hawk and Diggs, and they still got the guy that still can play and get it locked. So they're gonna give you a lot of fantasy points on defense. And the Steelers, I mean, like you said, still Kirk. I haven't in years of playing fantasy football, I've never not see them being picked because they are great. Mike Tomlin had those guys ready to play each and every Sunday.
Yeah,
their scheme is nasty. So, like I said, each year they always get picked. They're never in the phrases wire or pool, whatever you want to call it. They always get picked every year because they just having those guys they got Joey Porter Jr. rookie. He might have he probably have a nice year. Casey Hayward still going down low. And is he a edge rush? Is he play edge rush or he tackle?
I mean, they move him over.
Man, yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your list?
All right, well, let's get it cooking then. Number one, similar to yours, of course, you got Patrick Mahomes, always the greatest quarterback in the league right now. Number two, Joe Burrow. Number three, Josh Allen. Number four, Jalen Hurts, and I'm going to get some, gawk over this, but number five, I got Justin Fields. And so the reason why, and here's the reason, like you said, number three, I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, number one, and then two, you go either Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. Or the two, they get you live points. And this is why I went Hurts and Fields to finish my list. They use their feet.
Yes.
Quarterbacks that use their feet is going to get you a lot of points. Fields got a lot more weapons. He got a better scheme. I think he'd be a big fantasy player his sophomore year, especially with his feet. So passing wise, maybe not, but man, I see him in leagues last year. He was getting almost 30 points just using his feet. So that's why I had to go with him.
And having DJ Moore helps too.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, they totally upgraded their whole squad. So yeah, it's going to help them out a lot. All right, and running backs, I got CMC number one, of course. Number two, got Austin Eckler. Number three, I got Saquon Barkley. Number four, Josh Jacobs. Number five, Nick Chubb. CMC and Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb, same as you. There's the same reasons. They're a beast. Number two, Austin Eckler. Same thing as McCaffrey.
Yeah, same player.
He's a beast in the passing game. Like the straight up gets you. If you're a play in the PPR league, he's going to get you, receptions. He's going to get you points. And Josh Jacobs. If he was on any other team, he'd probably be MVP. Like the dude had a crazy season last year. Josh McDaniels just held him back, especially with the play calling. Hopefully this year is not the same, but I don't trust Jimmy G. So I think
definitely.
I think they're going to run the ball as much as possible, and I think that's the guy to do it. So Josh Jacobs is my number four. I would have put Jonathan Taylor on this list, but you don't know. Your best ability.
It's the same thing with Josh Jacobs too, though, for his contract situation.
Well, I think he's shown up though, right? I mean, let me rephrase
I thought he left Las Vegas.
Let me rephrase this. There's not as much drama for Josh Jacobs as Jonathan Taylor, so that's the only reason why I didn't put him up there. But we'll see. And number five, top five receivers. Number one, I got Justin Jefferson. Number two, I got the Cheetah. Number three, I got Jamar Chase. Number four, Cooper Kupp. And then number five, I got the St. God, St. Brown. Look, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Cooper Kupp, the same thing as you. They're just absolutely beasts. Jefferson's best receiver in the league by far. And then close is Chase and Kupp. Kupp brings you a lot of receptions. So that's in a PPR, that's going to help you out. So that's a good pickup if you get him early in the rounds. Tyreek Hill, the dude can do it all. He can do wide receiver sweeps. He can go in there as a running back. He's the Deebo Samuel type, just a lot faster.
Which I was going to say, which I didn't have him on. I should have had him on there, Deebo. But my question with Tyreek Hill is that, aren't you worried about the health of Tua? Is it, depend on him?
I would say yes, but last year when he was out, he was still. I had Tyreek in my dynasty league, and he was still balling out. That's the good thing about that Mike McDaniel's offense scheme. It's kind of like Kyle Shanahan. They'll find ways. Because look at like we said, Jimmy G's trash. Well, look what Deebo Samuel has done all those years in San Francisco. that scheme finds ways to get your playmakers the ball.
Yeah, they
That's
scheme
why,
open.
yes, and that's why I think Tank Dell for the Houston Texans will be a big surprise come fantasy wise. But
I'm thinking John Mechie. I mean,
I,
not because I'm a Bama fan, but I just think that
we know
John
it's
Mechie.
because you're a Bama fan. We get it. Nah. But and number 5, I mean, St. Brown was just a beast last year. He was putting a run in for Justin Jefferson, best receiver, but kind of had a fall off. But another year with Jared Goff and that scheme, dude. I can't think of the guy's name, but the offensive coordinator is just
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. There you go. He's just a mastermind when it comes to offensive scheme, and they got better. I mean, they got more running game. They got more weapons. And they got another good tight end. I don't know how it is in Detroit. They always draft good tight ends.
And they trade them.
Right. And they trade them. But I don't see them train this tight end. But hope But yes, that finishes off my wide receivers. Going to the tight ends, of course, just like you, man. I got number 1, Travis Kelce. 2, Kittle. 3, Goddard. 4, Mark Andrews. And I finished this with Evan Ingram. I mean, what can I say about these guys that you haven't, right? Of Kelce, Goddard, and Andrews. They're just beasts. Evan Ingram, I have him on the list because that offensive scheme, kind of like who was your ex-head coach?
Frank Wright.
Frank Wright. They love
tight ends.
Tight ends. They love that tight end. And Trevor Lawrence is
except Frank Wright. Except Frank Wright because we didn't use him last
year. And Trevor Lawrence is still young, so he still needs that safety net. But here's another reason why I got him. You got Calvin Ridley coming back.
Yes.
So a lot of teams are going to double team him, put the spy on him. So that leaves, I think Kirk and Ingram are going to have huge fantasy years because of Calvin Ridley.
Yes.
It just opens up the floodgate for these guys. So that's my list of the tight ends. I'm going on to kickers. Changed up a little bit for you. Of course, I got number 1, Justin Tucker. 2, Daniel Carlson. My boy Paul Perez is going to be mad that I got number 2, but hold on. Number 3, I got Brett Maher. 4, Young Hoku. Number 5, Jason Myers.
Seattle.
Yeah. So same thing. Justin Tucker, beast. Daniel Carlson, beast. Young Hoku, very accurate. But yeah, Brett Maher, accurate. He's not going to get you long field goals, but he can get you accurate field goals.
Is that the Dallas kicker?
Yes.
Oh man. Ugh.
And then Jason Myers, same thing. He gets a little bit more power, but he's very accurate. It was a toss up, right? Like I was going to go Harrison Butker, Jacob Elliott. Like there's a whole bunch of number 5. Like there's the cusp, but it's pick your poison. So I went with Jason Myers instead. But not a bad list in my opinion.
Still a good list. I mean, I like the Jason Myers pickup. The Brett that Brett one. I've seen him. He's bad. He was bad in Dallas. I'll just say that he's bad in Dallas. He was, the other places was pretty good, but in Dallas, is he still with Dallas?
I don't think so.
I think I cut. Yeah, they cut him for another kicker. Yeah, they've been bouncing around with kickers. Yeah.
I forget where he's at. I gotta look that up later on. And of course, the defense. Same with yours, pretty much. You got the Eagles, number 1, Niners, number 2, Patriots, number 3, Bills 4, Seahawks 5. Other than you, I got the Bills and the Seahawks. Bills, I mean, kind of like the Steelers, right? They always have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always somehow find a way to get 2 points on the defense. So I got the Bills and the Seahawks. To me, they're reloading that defense. They to me is going to be a Legion of Boom 2.0. They had a killer draft. Got Christian Gonzalez. I mean, that defense is going to be scary. If Bill Carroll can get the offense right, don't be surprised they got another championship brewing. But yeah, that Seahawks defense, man, for some reason, I got it going to be a beast. So that's my top 5 of the fantasy list of who
Not bad.
to draft. Yeah, not bad, But this is my opinion. I could be wrong, could be right. Who knows, right? That's why it's my top 5, not nobody else's. So, well, Josh, we're almost at the end. Before we do, let's do a little quick a segment.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the sleeper in the draft right now? Of all the players that could be a sleeper.
Like the NFL draft, recent draft in April?
No, in fantasy draft.
Oh, sleeper pick.
Yeah.
Whew, man.
Tough
Give me
one.
a second. Give me a second. I gotta think on each. You know what? I'll go with your boy Brandon Cooks.
Okay. All right.
Brandon Cooks.
Mr.
Dallas. Yeah, but I know he's
Mr. Consistent. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, maybe you had better luck in Dallas than you did in Houston, right?
I didn't say that. You did.
Hey, it's true, man.
It's true. Yeah.
It's true. Man, I gotta go. And I'm gonna give a reason why, but I gotta go with DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
I don't think a lot of people are gonna take him with like their number 2. I know they're not going to pick him for their number 1 receiver spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think a lot of people are going to pick him for their number 3 receiver spot because he's on the downfall. And he plays with the Tennessee Titans.
They run the ball a lot.
Well, yeah, that, and they don't have offensive line. And who's going to throw them to? Tannehill? I mean,
and they have your OC that you've been telling them about.
Yeah, Tim Kelly. Yeah, so for real. So I think DeAndre Hopkins, you can pick him up in the later rounds, and he's a good flex or off the bench receiver. So
you should do every pick though. Do it for every position then. Sleeper.
Okay. So who was your first sleeper? Your first sleeper was.
It was Brandon Cooks, wide receiver.
Okay. All right. Well, then who's your sleeper quarterback?
Quarterback. I gotta go off. We got the. I mean, I would say Kyler Murray, but I don't know if he's gonna be back. Okay. I don't know. I don't know when. Is he gonna be healthy and play week 1?
I don't think so. I think they were talking about like midweek or mid-season, if any.
Because Jalen Hurts not a sleeper. I should have. It should have been.
Yeah.
Dak would be a sleeper.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. All right, but you're going to be surprised with my sleeper.
Don't say Anthony Richardson.
And the cold quarterback, Anthony Richardson.
I knew
it. Man, that like not like week 1.
Yeah,
like he's your starter. No, that's not. But like down the way, especially if you're in a dynasty league where you keep the same players every year, Anthony Richardson for sure. Because that Shane Steichen offense and him, his this beast physicality, by none. And Shane Steichen is just going to help him grow. So I think Anthony Richardson by the end of the year is going to be a pretty damn good fantasy football player. So
okay, I thought about that, but I would have had other homer picks, so I didn't want to have another one.
All right, man. What you got with your running backs?
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard. All right, I love it. All right, I can see why too, because he's banged up, so he might not play week 1. So I can see that. But if he was healthy, I mean, he's gone in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Man, you had a couple of them, so this is my first one right here. Running back, I got Mr. Dameon Pierce. I think in the zone blocking scheme of Bobby Slowick, I think he's going to be a beast, especially in the red zone. give me those points. I got and plus you can get them in the later rounds like 14, 13. So yeah, give me some Dameon Pierce for my sleeper pick running back. Go to the tight ends, Josh. Who do you got?
Ingram.
Okay, Evan Ingram. Okay. I mean, yeah, I can see that too. I can see why. My sleeper tight end. I'm gonna keep it.
Go ahead, man.
Keep it going. I'm gonna go Dalton Schultz for
I
the
had to
Houston
pick.
Texans.
Because
again, rookie quarterback. Tight end is a blanket for him, security blanket, especially in the red zone. I mean, how many touchdowns do you have in that playoff game? Like 5 touchdowns. Dak Prescott threw to him. So I mean, the dude's just a red zone beast. So I gotta go with Dalton Schultz, especially that Bobby Selleck offense. Look at George Kittle. I mean, that's what made George Kittle was that scheme. So
I'm surprised we didn't pick Darren Waller. I'm really surprised.
I think he's on the cusp of top 5, right? Like you know, you do Everett Ingram, you do anybody at that top 5. I think Waller's there, but plus he was hurt last year. You know what I mean? So, all right, man. We're going to skip the kickers.
Yeah,
because I mean, kickers are kickers. Defense. What you got your sleeper?
Since on the TV right now, I would go with the Broncos.
Oh, okay. And they got that defensive coordinator back over there too, didn't they? Yeah, he top 5 defense there for a couple of years.
The Rams. I was gonna say Dolphins, but no, Dolphins. No.
All right, man. Well,
who you got?
I'll keep it consistent. My sleeper pick is the Houston Texans. Like, I don't know if anybody's been watching I know it's preseason, but we got better. We're stopping the run. The secondary, by the end of the season, don't be surprised the secondary is not top 5. Will Anderson is a beast. He is going to cause havoc. I think by the end of this year, the Texans would be a top 10 overall and top 8 in fantasy football. So
I can see that. I can go with that.
So that is my sleeper defense. So man, what a great episode, Josh, for our first episode. So guys, this is the time for every episode. Saturday, 8:00 Central. We had a little technical difficulties. I think Sam hacked my computer. That's usually what happens once you messes with stuff. So make sure you check us out. Check out our network, the Fan Battle Sports, and the website, www.fanbattlesports.com. We are going to be having some articles fantasy-wise, so definitely check that out. Josh, tell everybody where they can find you and what other great shows you have going
on. You can find me on, I was going to say X, but find me on Twitter at official Josh Senior, and you can find us the podcast, Hush You My Podcast, on Tuesdays at 9:30 Eastern. We got a special guest this Tuesday coming up, Mike Patton.
I had him on my show. He got real knowledgeable. So good guess, man. Good guess. Yeah, I'm not calling it X either. Like, I don't want people to think I'm taking ecstasy out here. Yeah, you find me on X. Like, but you can find me on every social media platform. A1 Day One Texans. You can find this podcast at FB Fantasy Sports on everywhere. And you can find me Monday night. You can find me and Josh both on the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast, where we be causing some ruckus with Samantha Warnett. And then Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central, you can find me and Amazing Trio on the Texans Fan Battle Podcast, where we talk everything Texans. Exciting time to be a Texan fan. So, guys, make sure you check out all the great shows on the Fan Battle Sports Network. And we'll see you next week. You have a good night.